Last night, history was finally made. For the first time ever, the UFC was in Madison Square Garden. After a decades-long ban against MMA, it was finally lifted, and it finally happened. History was made, and it was worth the fucking wait. I am so excited to do this review. I know I normally save them until the day after I watch the event, but I just had to. It would have felt wrong to not do this on the day that I saw it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we head over to New York. New York City to be exact, for UFC 205. Let's just get right to it. I'm not going to waste any more time. As always, we start off with our undercard fights. Our first fight was for Sensei Luke against Bilal Muhammad. And as much as I like Muhammad, Luke is a freaking beast. He's such a young kid. He's close to my age. He's only a year older, I think, and he's vicious in the cage. We saw in his last fight, he got performance of the night for a vicious knockout. He didn't get it for his win here, but he did manage to get a good knockout. 1 minute and 20 seconds into the first round. He just proved how good his boxing is because it is damn good. Managed to finish Muhammad within, a minute and 20 seconds, as I just mentioned, and it was a really, really good showing from him. I think Luke needs to keep putting on wins. He keeps putting on wins, and he'll probably get a title shot soon. He deserves it. He's a young kid, he's vicious. I like watching him fight. It was a really good performance from him. So, good on him. Next up was Tim the Barbarian Birch against Rafael Natal. And Birch won in the first round by TKO about 3 minutes 20 in to the first round. It was pretty one-sided for him. I mean, he had the wrestling game. He had the wrestling advantage. He definitely has the size advantage. He's a very big middleweight, Birch. And he just pretty much walked Natal down without any fear. He knocked him. He didn't really knock him down, but he did hurt him a lot, and eventually he just landed enough strikes to finish. It was a really, really good showing from Birch. And, once again, good on him. Can't really fault that. Next we get to what was probably the most brutal fight of the night, in my opinion. A really, really good fight it was as well. Khabib Nurmagomedov against Michael the Mace Johnson, and it was close. The first round was close because, in terms of standard striking, they were even, but then Johnson cracked Khabib hard with a really good left. Followed up with strikes, but then Nurmagomedov stuck to his strengths because he just suddenly realized, oh shit, I'm good at wrestling. He got Michael Johnson, took him down, and pounded the crap out of him. He did this for the majority of round 2 as well. In round 3, basically before round 3 started, Big John McCarthy, who refereed the fight, went over to Johnson's coaches in his corner and said, basically, if the same thing happens again, I will stop the fight. I'm surprised he didn't stop it earlier. He should have, in my opinion. But eventually, obviously, the first round was pretty much all Nurmagomedov. Well, first round was I said this earlier. Weren't you paying attention, damn it? Anyway. Round 3 comes around, it's basically kind of the same thing, and eventually Nurmagomedov manages to get one of Johnson's arms, locks in a really good Kimura, and Johnson taps, which is good because Kimuras are fucking deadly. If you're in one of those and they hold onto it too long, you could break your arm. It has happened in the UFC before. This is not hyperbole. I'm not making this up. I've seen it happen before. It is fucking nasty. But it was just a one-sided beatdown, and Nurmagomedov is still undefeated. It's 24-0. That is mind-boggling. Really good showing from him. Not so good from Johnson. What can you do? And then we get to the last fight of the main card, Frankie Edgar against Jeremy Stephens. Edgar won by decision with really, really good wrestling and more precise striking, but there was a moment in round 2, I believe it was, where Stephens landed a fucking amazing head kick. I'm sorry I'm swearing so much, it was just such a great event, and I'm so excited. He landed a great head kick. Almost finished Edgar. He managed to land a decent flurry afterwards, didn't really manage to finish him. And as I mentioned, Edgar was the winner by decision. He used wrestling because his was a lot better than Stephens' wrestling. I mean, yeah, Frankie won. Really, really, really good performance from him. Jeremy tried. What can you do? And then we start with the main card, and the first fight was kind of boring. Miesha Tate versus Raquel Pennington. Obviously, for those who watch the Ultimate Fight would know that this was on season 18. Miesha Tate was one of the coaches, and Raquel Pennington was one of the fighters fighting on Team Tate. And Raquel won by a decision in this fight, and it was fairly easy to see why, because Tate didn't look like she had any setup at all, whereas Rocky is very well known for that. She's very well known for standing up and scrapping. She just had every advantage over Tate. She managed to look in some really good submissions, didn't really finish because it went the distance. Landed some great combos, got some good takedowns. I think the best moment was definitely early in round 1, though, where she had Tate in a guillotine choke against the cage, and Tate kept jumping off the cage, trying to flip herself upside down and escape it. That just looked mental. I'd never seen that before. It just looked really, really cool. It looked kind of funny as well. I even said "wee" a couple of times as she did it. Just seeing her like springboard and trying to escape the hold. The choke. It was really, really cool. Yeah. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get her the win, as Raquel definitely deserved the win for that. It was a really, really good showing. From Raquel, sorry, I accidentally hit the pause button, didn't mean to. So, yeah. A really, really good showing there. Let's move on. Next, we move on to Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman. Pardon me. With the winner going on to fight Michael Bisping at his next title defense. And it was a fairly close fight all the way through until what happened in the third round, which I'll get to. Now, for the first 2 rounds, it was fairly even, but I give Weidman the edge because he was landing more body kicks. He just seemed to have better control, in my opinion. Then the third round started. 24 seconds in, Romero went for a flying knee, and it landed beautifully right on the side of Weidman and cut him wide open. Like, the moment his head was about to hit the floor, you just saw blood like come out in globs. It looked nasty. But it was a really good showing from Romero, despite what happened at the end of the first round, because his coaches splashed water all over his legs and he had to take some extra recovery time to get the water off of them. This is why I don't like Romero that much, because accidents happen in between rounds for him and he has to take more time. Like he did when he fought Tim Kennedy, which I fucking hated about Romero. I'm still not over that. But he did a good job here. He got performance of the night, so I can't complain. And Weidman just kind of looked bad. This is the first time he's fought in almost a year, because his last fight was near the end of last year when he lost the belt to Luke Rockhold. So, yeah, not much else that needs to be said there. And then we come to the first of our triple main event, as I'm calling it. Joanna Jedrzejczyk against Karolina Kowalkiewicz for the strawweight title. Joanna won. It was a really, really good fight. Joanna managed to use her striking, especially those body kicks. Like, she was throwing great punch combos and then body kicks and leg kicks as well. And some hand kicks, She was just basically outshining Carolina in stand-up and in most of the clinch as well, which is where a lot of people were expecting Carolina to have the advantage. But there was a moment in round 4 where people were worried because Carolina landed a great right hand, and as she turned into it, it became an elbow, and that landed on Joanna as well. It's kind of worth noting that Joanna was wiping her nose a lot. It was possible that she might have broken it early on, and it was definitely damaged after the punch. So, yeah, but she managed to tough it out. She got a good win. She keeps the belt. She remains undefeated. She remains the strawweight champ. Carolina gave a good showing, especially considering that these two fought before in the amateur leagues. I think Joanna won then as well. I don't quite remember. But Joanna won. That's the important thing. Let's move on. Okay. The co-main event. Tyron Woodley defending his welterweight belt against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yeah, me and my brother sang that as we were watching it. That was amazing. And my friend Jack was just sat on my bed why are you singing that? But yeah, it was a hell of a fight. It definitely deserves its marker for Fight of the Night. And it was damn close. Tyron won by majority draw, for one thing. let's see, 2 judges scored it a draw, and the last one scored it in favour of Woodley. Yeah, it was a majority draw. So, that's kind of bullshit. But that's definitely the right call for me. I think it should have been a draw, and it was a great way for Turner to keep his belt. I want him and Thompson to have a rematch. That is a thing that has to happen. I don't want it to. I need it to. It needs to happen. It was an amazing fight. It started off kind of rocky because a lot of people were sort of like, neither's going to throw anything because there's very little margin for error, especially when you're as good as these two are. But they just picked it up as the fight went on, and it was fantastic. Especially near the end of round 4 when Tyron landed probably the best moves that he had in the fight. Landed a great right hand follow with like bunches of punches and knees, a couple of kicks here and there. Had Thompson on his back and went for, like, he almost had a guillotine choke in as well. He was damn close to sinking in, but Thompson stuffed it out and survived. I meant to say survived at first, then toughed, then it became stuff. So Stephen Thompson toughed it out and survived. There we go. A rematch has to happen very, very fucking soon. If it doesn't, I'll be very surprised. But now we move on. Now for the main event, Eddie Alvarez, the American, being booed in the American States, who is the lightweight champion, defending his belt against featherweight champion who hasn't defended his featherweight belt yet. Sorry, Conor. Conor McGregor, featherweight champion. And basically the whole theme of this event has been history being made, and Conor McGregor made history, not just by being Alvarez, on the biggest stage in the fucking planet. That's like the 8th F-bomb I've used in this video, I don't care. And he won by second round knockout, earning himself Performance of the Night. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Thompson and Woodley did get Fight of the Night. They deserve it, but yeah. McGregor became one of 3 fighters to hold 2 different belts in 2 different weight divisions, but the first ever to hold them simultaneously. Because Randy Couture won the heavyweight and light heavyweight belts at different times, and BJ Penn won the lightweight and welterweight belts at different times. Conor, he's holding the featherweight and lightweight belts for the first time. His post-match interview was amazing, especially when he said, "I know I've talked a lot of trash and I'd like to take this opportunity to apologise to absolutely nobody. The double champ does whatever the fuck he wants." It's kind of weird. I don't know if it was just the recording I got, but I couldn't hear most of what he wanted to say, and it's not like they were coming off as swearing, because people do that all the time at the end of a post-fight interview, and the little thing came up and said, "We apologise for any offensive language you may have heard." I would have heard more if you didn't keep cutting off, BT. It's probably your fault, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, it was a good showing from Conor. Like, Alvarez just looked like an amateur. He was knocked down like 3 times in round 1. And after the first time again knocked down in round 2, the ref just jumped in and was like, that's it. It was a damn good event. Oh, after Romero won his fight, I kind of skipped it, but he was kind of calling out Bisping, and Bisping was stood up in the booth because he was doing the sports coverage with Brian Stan and that bald dude who looks a bit like Mojo Rawley from WWE. You know, that one. And he was wearing a really nice suit, and he was calling Romero over. So they're going to fight soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this was an absolutely amazing event all in all. Probably, it's one of my favourites of the year. Easily, it could be in the top 5. It was so good. Everything that I kind of wanted to happen did happen. That fight with Woodley and Thompson might be one of the best welterweight fights I've ever seen. So, without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Thank you for watching this video. If you have, I'll see you all pretty soon for my backtracking episode of The Lamb of God. I've got like 3 albums left of that to listen to. It's been going surprisingly well, as it goes. So I will see you all then. Take care. Bye-bye. And keep fighting. Peace.